Welcome. Okay, so one of the Robersons is really silly, and this one
It's
is
her.
even sillier.
It's her.
We are the Robersons, and we are here proving that love beyond 40 is not only possible, but worth waiting for, and all that you might have to go through to get it. But we're not the only couple that found love beyond
I'm
40.
35 years old. Do not let this premature gray fool you, okay?
When windows, what are windows? Okay. You know what? But you look good for 35, baby.
Thank you.
But we are not an anomaly. We are special, but we are not the only special people that have found love. And you are special too. So if you are watching this because you are looking for that one gem that keeps you holding on, believing that love is possible for you, keep watching because we're about to talk to one of the most dynamic couples that we have ever met. People that we love, our real life friends. We are going to introduce you to Simone and Lawrence Lyles this evening. Are you ready?
I'm ready, man. Bring them in.
Bring them in. Bring them
my
in.
fellow 1911.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey.
What up?
Oh, I have been waiting for this moment to have some behind the scenes conversation because whatever we're going to talk about tonight, we may have never talked about before. We just be loving and living. And so now let's get into some of it. How you doing?
All the secrets out.
Yeah. Well, just a few secrets, not all the secrets. Just a little bit. So, Simone, for those that do not know you, may know your voice, but not know your name, or may know your name and have never had the privilege of hearing your angelic voice. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background in singing, and then Mr. Lyles, I want you to tell me all about all these different names that you have, because you're Lawrence during the day, but then you a DJ at night, and then you got some other stuff going on. So give us a little bit of the real deal behind all of what y'all do.
Hey everybody, Simone Green here. Originally from Little Rock, Arkansas. Been singing for aging myself. 35 plus years. Jazz, blues, R&B, house music, a little bit of everything. I have an EP out that I did in 2022 during the pandemic. I am going to be the fill-in person, cast member, if you will, for the talented Liv Warfield at Teatro Zenzani coming up in a few weeks. I'm excited about that. Got some new projects in the works. Just keeping you busy, working, singing all the time.
Yes, you do, girl. Oh, so excited about this Teatro Zenzani performance. Yes, girl, I was on the site this morning picking our table. I love it. Okay, Lawrence, give us some behind the scenes on you.
I'm Lawrence. I am the better half. You know, so it's a better half.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
Ain't taking nowhere.
So I worked as a real estate appraiser, but before that, I spent years working in TV news, news writer, news producer. Used to produce the 6 a.m. news on local Fox 32. Then went worked as an appraiser, independent. Still doing that now. Put some other irons in the fire, including like fledgling DJ thing.
Not fledgling.
No, it's fledgling. It's just starting. It's not like I've been doing it forever. Like so.
You put some years
in. DJ like you have.
Yeah, no, but I mean it's only a few years in. Like so, basically, I was always a music lover, and she was like right before the COVID really hit, pandemic, before they really shut everything down. She was like, "Oh, you should look into the DJ thing more seriously," and that's how it started.
So I want to know tell us your DJ name and how it came to be.
So the full DJ name,
yes,
and it's not DJ in it at all. It's Swan Q, the Funk Mummy. So it really, my nickname has been Swan since high school.
Okay.
When I pledged in college, my line name ended up being Swan. So a lot of people don't even know my real name. They just know me as Swan.
Ain't that the truth?
But
Right.
it's
I was one of them until tonight.
He was like, "Why are you writing Lawrence up there? Who's that?"
Right. The DJ name is kind of a jokey thing. Like I got a good friend, and he always would come up with nicknames for himself. So he's from Gary. So every time he come from the gym, he'd be like, "Yeah, the Gary Steel meal. I was in there eating steel. The Indiana Hammer, blah blah blah." So he always come up with these nicknames. So he had talked about DJing, and he was like, "I need to think of a DJ nickname." So we mess with each other all the time. So he was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna be Black Wax," and I was like, "No, you'd be more like Earwax." People plug up their stuff, don't want to hear you. This and other. So we joked back and forth. He was like, well, "What would yours be?" And I was like, "Funk Mummy," because I like funk music from back in the day. So he was like, "Oh, that's good. I'm gonna steal that, and you're gonna be the Slim Zombie because you're gonna put everybody to sleep when you DJ." So that's how it came about, and obviously a lot of people will be like, "Well, all right, that's a little long or whatever." So as long as they got part of it right, Swan Q, because a lot of people say Swan Q because I'm an Omega, Funk Mummy, whatever. As long as they call me, hire me, and pay me.
I know that's right.
Okay.
One of the things that I observed last year that I just loved was, so we're this duo couple that do things together, host and speak and stuff like that. But last year at the Omega Mardi Gras event, when Simone, you were singing, and coming up next was the Funk Mummy, I was like, so they are really, really doing a thing here, because we're going to take all y'all entertainment fee for tonight. I loved that. And I thought it was such a good compliment of a way for you both to stand in your space.
Absolutely.
And be your own thing, but also be very much a pair. And that's one of the things that's really important to us in relationships, since we, live together, work together, have 5 different businesses that we operate.
You have never sang where I was DJing.
Stop. that and I won't. Okay. If you want them to hire you again, then do not. Then we better have Simone doing all the singing. But let's jump into this relationship stuff, because so many people, and I'm sure as you all were new in your relationship and popped out married in the middle of the park that day.
Yes.
That you offered a lot of hope to people who have been watching you be single and travel on this journey. But that also means that you had to unlearn some things that had been part of your experience before. So let's start with, in order to, really be in this place and together, what did you have to unlearn before you could fully receive the love of this relationship? What did you feel like you had to unlearn or replace in your mindset?
For me, and I'm still a work in progress, I had to not be as selfish as I have always been my entire life. I'm the youngest in my family. I just have always pretty much gotten my way. And it's interesting. He told me a few years ago that one of the first things my mother told him when he met me was that I was selfish. Like be aware of it. I mean, she knows it. And I claim it because I had been for a very long time. And having someone else that is with me all the time, and we live together, we do everything together. I had to be a little more flexible. Hold on, he's gonna let the dog out real quick. He's like, of course he's barking in the middle of our interview.
It's your other roommate.
Yes. I
dog do whatever he want to do.
But for me, that was the biggest thing, is that I had to turn that selfishness off and not just think about myself all the time. I mean, I know that's kind of par for the course when you get married, but it was even before we got married. Like, as soon as we started dating, I had to, and it wasn't that I had to, I wanted to.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be giving and give of myself and not just think of myself.
Yeah, that's good. How about you, Lawrence? What was it for you?
The main thing, like when you're getting into a marriage, a very serious relationship older is unlearning or learning that, you know, everything that you do and every decision affects two people.
Mhm.
And you have to start trying to operate as one.
Yeah.
You know, so whereas, you know, a guy, you know, you might say, well, you know, man, if I got a raggedy car and I drive around in whatever gets me around, you know, and wife's like, I don't want a raggedy car. you know, there's certain things like, you know, that you may be comfortable, that may be comfortable for you, but you have to make sure that your partner is comfortable as well.
Yeah.
That's good.
So was there ever a period of time in y'all's relationship where y'all was like, fuck this shit, I'm done with you?
You must not have heard
You haven't heard our story then.
You say what?
You haven't heard our story then. So.
No.
Well, tell us that part.
That's the you got to kick him out the car moment.
Whoa.
Speaking of cars.
Yeah, I hate to say it's true. So in a briefly, we met, it wasn't right. And we went our separate ways for maybe for a year and a half, maybe. We tried to get together again. It wasn't right. And that was my fault. That's when I got kicked out the car. Okay.
I mean, not literally.
Not literally.
I
Not
wasn't driving
physically.
and like, get out. But you know, I would always pull up to the house, get out, open the door, all that. And this time it's like, nah, I'm not opening no door. You just get out.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, well,
this is done. This
let me just kind of put some of the details out there.
Don't put a lot of details.
Yeah, no. We gone out. I did some foul stuff.
Okay.
And we quickly went home after this happened.
Okay.
We went home. We pulled up in front of my house, put the car in park. And he pretty much read me without cursing me out or anything like that. You know, he's never called me out by name. I mean, he read me
under my breath.
Oh, the lower the tone, the more dangerous.
Yeah. So he read me, pretty much told me I can, you know, get on out and go on by my business. But that day, I will say, I told him I understood how he felt. And I respected how he felt, but I told him I wasn't done with him that day.
She did say it.
I told him that. And I got on out the car. He was just like, whatever.
Crazy.
So fast forward, maybe a year and a half. I remember this very well. I had won this award at the DuSable Museum. I had this burnt orange dress on. I was hot, baby. Hot to death. He inboxed me. He said, you look good enough to get for I want to marry you. During the night. I said, it's your lucky day. I am available. He picked me up at 7:00. He took me to Simone's bar.
Yes, Pilsen.
Yes, in Pilsen, 18.
Pimp move.
It was a pimp move, yes. He took me to Simone's bar. I mean, we watched the Bulls game. We ate, we talked. I went home with him and we've been together ever since.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So third time's a charm for us.
Right.
So I'm lost. The burnt orange dress was the same night as Simone's bar?
No. So he saw the picture maybe a day or two before.
I'm like, how they do that?
That wasn't for a game.
Yeah, it was probably the day before because I posted the picture on social media. He saw it and was like, damn. He's
like, I don't want nobody else driving her home.
Yeah,
get her back in the car.
And we have literally been together ever since.
Oh, I love that.
I went home with him and never left.
I'm glad you finally got your act together. Okay, that's a good man right there. Okay,
I did. Best decision I ever made. Still,
that's awesome.
No doubt.
Sometimes people think that it's all the perfection. You know,
no,
think that. You know, because everybody else has it and they knew their person and they knew immediately, you know, and our story is a bit of a modern day fairy tale. And we do know that, but that's why we want to talk to more couples that showcase the reality behind sometimes what it takes to be together. And the only reason that we knew we were it was because we had done enough of what it wasn't.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And we had
both came out of what it wasn't.
Yes. So it was real easy to spot. You know,
that's the thing. Like when you find it later, you are a lot more assured that you're making the right decision because you made so many wrong decisions. You know, it may have been times where that was the right person, but you weren't right.
Yeah.
You weren't ready. Then, you know, you get times where you're ready and they're not right, and you're trying to fit square pegs in the round holes and all that. And it doesn't work. And, you know, that's God telling you it's not your season yet.
Yeah.
You know?
We knew. I mean, when we finally got together, within 3 weeks, we were talking about getting married. Truly, 3 weeks. It just
right. Because I was just about to ask, like, how did that increase your bond, those back and forths? Because when you go through and you lose something that you really know is valuable, it makes you that much more appreciative when you do have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we knew the value.
No.
Of each other when it was happening. It was just like, whatever, man. Get on now.
Get on the car. Okay. So how long have y'all been married total now?
It'll be 9 years in May.
Okay.
Yeah. We're coming up on 10 years next year. Like,
I love it. I love it. I love it. So there's a lot of life distractions and people and such. So how do you protect your relationship from external distractions, negativity, drama, people? Both of y'all are in the public light. How do you protect your relationship from that?
I mean, honestly, because our relationship is between us. The shit that
please.
The shit that goes on in this house stays in this house. It's not fodder for anyone else. I mean, it just isn't. We have to work it out ourselves. I don't need my friends' opinions about my husband. They don't know him. They don't know what goes on here. Right. So it stays here.
I mean, I'm not a person who like has a lot of like friends where you say I'm going to share a lot with, you know, like I've had a lot of friends, acquaintances and all that kind of stuff, but a lot of them remain kind of surface because, you know, like when I was younger and, you know, you understand like, hey, everybody who knows for every person that knows your dirt, there's one more person that could potentially wreck what you got, tell your secrets, this, that, and other. So, you know, a lot of my friends, you know, it's, hey, we don't talk about that stuff. Like, you know, it's private.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Right.
Yeah. You know, it's like, and, you know, some of them are younger than me, but they've been married longer. And then there are others who, you know, you learn also from the fact that they're not married. You know, okay, yeah, don't do that.
Right. You ain't really got nothing to offer to this conversation.
Right.
Yeah. Do y'all find that in just random conversations with other friends that people have negative stuff to say about their partners and they're kind of looking for you to join in?
Yes, I do. I do. I mean, I
don't think men typically aren't like that. We just kind of rant and rave and everybody go, yeah, all women like that, man. Yeah, whatever. Time to smoke or drink one. You know, women don't like to hear that, but like I tell her all the time, that's the reason why you go to any culture, any country, anything, and it's all the memes and jokes and whatever about being married are the same. Because a man and a woman, we're basically the same. You know, there's like men here are the same as men over there. Women here are the same as women over there. You know, so once you accept those universal truths, you know, it's not really like, you know, like, oh, okay, I'm going to complain about my wife to get advice or whatever, because you kind of know what to do or what's going on, or, you know, like say, if you've observed people who've been married or talked to any of them, then you kind of know.
Yeah. How about for you, Simone? Do your girlfriends kind of look for that, yeah, your man is, my man is like your man kind of vibe?
No. Because I mean, a lot of my friends are single. A lot of my friends here are single. It's interesting though. I'm from the South. Most of my friends from home, I mean, they're country girls, quote unquote. Yeah. They're married and have been married.
Yeah.
But most of my friends that I have here in Chicago are not in married, so to speak. So it's different. I mean, I think they know that the man that I married is just different from, I mean, obviously from the men that they've seen me with over the years and the men that they meet kind of like on the scene. It's different. I mean, I don't talk poorly about my husband to anyone. Because if it
except to me.
I mean, but if
the honesty for me,
I got to be able to address it.
Sometimes I deserve it.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't really understand that talking negatively about my spouse to anyone. Because if it's that bad, then I don't need to be with him. Or I need to be talking to a counselor and not spewing it to other people.
Yeah. I think personally, it kind of depends on the level of what the negative thing is, right? Like it's one thing if it's like a knockdown, drag out, y'all had a big blow up and then you talking to somebody about it versus oh my God, I can't believe she want to go see this chick. You know what I'm saying? Like out of all the shit she picked on Netflix tonight, this is what she picked up. We were watching Trevor Noah the other day, and he was talking about how in some relationships, people expect their spouse to get rid of their friends. Right. And now it's left up to their spouse to fill in all of these things that their friends fill in, right? All of this love and different conversations and all of that. I'm so glad she got girlfriends because some of the shit she want to talk about, I just don't want to talk about.
Right. That's the thing. Like when you have, I think also when you have two people that had real full lives where they was always on the go, always party, kicking with a lot of people, know a lot of people, that other person, they understand that they're not expecting that. So like, when we got married, like, I had to adapt to people like recognizing me that didn't know me personally. Like, you Simone Green's husband, nah. So, everywhere. I mean, like I go out to breakfast, I'd be working, whatever. But, we would go out and then I would run into people that, and she's like, where you know that person from? How is it every time we go somewhere, you know somebody? I've been around a long time,
You ain't the only popular person.
Right, exactly. Pretty much, exactly.
Yeah, we run into that a lot. I get a lot of, you're Mel's wife, and women just be loving me and hugging on me, and and I love that, and he gets it a lot too. But it just speaks to the honor.
They kick me to the curb and throw cameras in my hand so they could get a picture with it. I was just the official photographer as far as they were concerned.
I mean, she famous though. What you gonna do? She famous though.
And you don't talk like you from Arkansas. Like I didn't know that.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, because I've been gone since I was 18.
Yeah, my family from Fort Ice though. They've been gone.
Fort Ice.
You already know.
My brother goes hunting in Fort Ice.
Yep.
All the time.
Yeah. It's
a house in Fort Ice, as a matter of fact, a trailer down there.
Yeah, that's what they live in.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you, because a lot of times there's this philosophy that there's this, soulmate, this one person that God made for you or whatever. So when it comes to your love story, do you believe your love was a story of fate, of choice, or a mixture of both?
I say I think it's definitely a mixture of both.
I would agree with
for
that.
Sure. It was, I mean, certainly fate, because I haven't said this, but there are a few things that I remember so well, like it was yesterday. Mm-hmm. But the first time I saw him, I remember it like it was yesterday. Mm. I mean, it is just ingrained in my psyche.
Okay.
And I remember walking out and locking eyes with him for the first time. And I can't explain it. I just knew there was something. Mm-hmm. And then once we got to the point where he was telling me to go on about my business, and me, I would never say, I'm not done with you. Most men like whatever, next.
Right.
And that was the mindset I had been in for a really long time. But it was something that just told me to say that.
That's what we call SP. Bros, I said sexual pull. It's like certain days your SP level be up, boy. Certain days your SP level be up. Just like, man,
the potion for you is hot.
Hey,
I almost attacked him this morning. He was not so good. Lord have mercy. He was just like,
that's funny. That's what I love about you, Lawrence. You might be a man of few words, boy, but when you do pull them out,
I mean, for real, when he does,
Yeah.
okay, let me get this camera right.
So when you are in the when you are in the light, when Simone is in the light, Lawrence, and you see and observe so many other people observing her, what does that feel like?
It's real interesting because I used to do the sound for her because like she would always be like, I gotta pay somebody extra to do sound, and with me having a TV radio background, it's like I don't know about that. I could do that. And so once I set everything up, I just kind of sat in the back and I would see everybody. And I always say, like you think like, oh, okay, I'm marrying this woman, and anybody that does anything where they're in the limelight and on the stage is going to make them very attractive to a lot more people.
Yeah.
So I thought like, it's going to be dudes coming up and man, I'm getting old. I better work out so I can be like, hey, what up? But the guys were very respectful, and a lot of guys, if they said anything, it was like, man, brother, I admire you. I don't know how you do it with a beautiful woman that's in the limelight like that. I couldn't handle that.
Mm.
Women, it was like 3 categories. It was like her girls and friends. It was like, that's our girl. Yeah, Simone, she be doing it. Woo, woo, woo. Then you have fans, and they were like, music kind of fans. Like, man, that's Simone. Like, I love seeing her. I go see her all the time. And then you had the fanatics, where it's like sitting there Google-eyed and just looking. And then with the ones that when she get off the stage, they're going to hover around her. They're going to try to get up in between, almost like our dog do, get up in between the two of us. And, like you had to tell some of them like, hey, D come with this package, man. Don't be trying to get in close because unless you want some extra side, because ain't no separating it. But because I mean, like you have like
they was coming at me strong.
Like she got like she tells a story like a friend of hers that she sang with all the time, and the lady was just looking and was like, "I'm the lesbian of your dreams, come," because people get starstruck.
Yeah,
you get starstruck.
Yeah,
and with those, you have to kind of gently put them in their place, but otherwise.
And he had to a couple of times.
Yeah. And so Simone, how did it change for you from being in that room where all that same stuff was happening, where you were alone at the end of the night to manage all of that, versus when you knew, whether he was in the back of the room, in the corner of the room, or at home sometimes, that you had your person? How did that shift for you in that celebrity space?
I mean, so let me first say this. I don't feel that celebrity thing that everybody else does. I mean, when we talk about it, but I just
like, you a hood celebrity.
I mean, people say that, but
for you, it's just work,
right?
Yeah, I just I don't buy into that personally.
I get it.
So it really wasn't that hard for me. Because I've always been in a space most of my life where I had a lot of attention, because I was an athlete in high school. I was cheerleader and I was homecoming queen, and then I was a singer. So I've always been in a space where I've had a lot of attention. So I've learned to deal with that a long time ago.
Okay.
None of this is it's a little different because I'm like 50 something, but it just wasn't that unique for me.
Okay.
Honestly. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
What about y'all? I mean, like, how do you all deal with it? I mean, now that you're a couple together, I mean, Monique, I know you had a lot of success and notoriety before you met Mel with your career and just what you did. How do you all handle that now? I mean, you know, are there inboxes?
They know I'm crazy.
They know.
They
For real though.
Yeah.
They know I'm from 79th Street.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it actually was one of the reasons I was most single for so long. Aside from the fact that I hadn't met my husband yet, but I remember being in a restaurant right off of 22nd Street, whatever that restaurant is on the corner over there. I remember being there with an ex-boyfriend, and somebody just walked in the door. We were sitting kind of by the door. Somebody walked in, recognized me. I got up, hugged him, spoke to him, and I went back to eating, like, you know, just spoke to some people, went on back. Right. And he was like, why you got to talk to everybody? Why you always? And I was so caught, like, is that what you, like, you I mean, because he was aggressive with it. And it had been a recurring theme in many of my relationships before then. People would tell me I was too forward and too friendly. You always talking to people. Why you got to know everybody? And I was kind of like, I
always talk to people. You do
I do, but it's kind of my life, you know.
Go to what I said, where a lot of guys, they realize they can't handle that.
Yeah. And it was a big
woman to be that popular.
Yeah, it was a big thing for me too. It was also one of the ways that I knew easily that he could handle it, because I got a dose of it when I stepped into his life. Right. And I was like, because all of his friends and business associates were like, Mel's so great. Oh my God, Mel's so great. Oh my God, you're with Mel. Mel's so great. And I was like, I'm pretty dope too. Y'all just don't know me yet, you know? And I realized, like, oh, that's what that feels like. But what it made me aware of was that those other people didn't have a dose of that for themselves. Yes. They didn't have that kind of life. So they had no idea how to handle or manage it. And we were at the airport.
I think even for people that don't have that type of life, they can still manage it or handle it, depending on the type of person. I have some friends that are in the spotlight, in the limelight, and their spouses aren't, and they just know how to handle each other. I don't think you have to have experienced it to necessarily deal with it, right? It's all in how comfortable you are.
Right. Because I mean, that's how it was for all of us, obviously. You know, it was like, you know, not like we dated a bunch of celebrities or whatever.
Yeah. So
I appreciate that with him, that he wasn't, you know, intimidated when, after I'm singing, all these people, men, women, you know, people are coming to me and want to talk to me and blah, 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 blah. He could just be like, do your thing.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. We were in the airport recently, and so Mel's got the #1 movie on Tubi, but it's a hood classic though, right? So unless
it's really good, Mel. We enjoyed it. We can't wait for the sequel.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Any day now. So we're in the airport and we're walking through. It's late, and this brother TSA agent, totally not doing his job, off in the cut, hoping to not be recognized himself, looks up and sees Mel, his whole face light up. He's like, man, dog, you from the movie? I just pulled my little bag to the side, stood there and waited. And like, I was like, go on, famous husband, go on, famous husband. And so I love it. I love that. What I love about Mel most is that he could be in that hood film, he could be in that boardroom, or he could be speaking on a stage in front of 50,000 people, and people respond to him the same. Yeah. And that's a very unique set of qualities that you can carry yourself in so many different places. And I always, you know, was kind of I could be on the corner on the west side with the brothers, or I could be in the boardroom. I'm still the same girl, you know? And so having that kind of duality of life, I think also plays a role in not being intimidated when your partner is the one shining and you're on a B-roll at that time. And we kind of play that back and forth, depending on the day or the time of day. It could be multiple times a day that we swap back and forth.
I'd be like, bring me my money.
So I love this, real love relationship talk, because sometimes you don't always feel real seen by the world. We got all this social media and what people think of you.
Right.
But when was a time where you felt seen, understood, and really supported by your partner when you needed it most? It's nice every day, but when was a time where you needed it most?
For me, I have many of those moments. I mean, and honestly, I would just say the most recent has been the passing of my mother. I mean, he just all the ebbs and flows and ups and downs and just all of that stuff. He doesn't complain about any of that stuff. And then going back to the beginning of our relationship, which really cemented everything for us, is my first go around with breast cancer. And truly the second go around was even more so. He never ever complained about all of the things that were going on with me, and my complaining and all of that. He just was a rock for me, and I'll never forget it.
That's so good. Yeah. And you have, Simone, and Lawrence, I definitely want your answer too, but Simone, to that particular journey, you have been such a great inspiration for how you walked through. And those of us that knew.
Yeah.
Your new fancier set of boobs came on deck, and you just and you just rocked on out like like a true survivor and warrior of the thing. And I love how your story has just exemplified winning no matter what the circumstances.
Baby, at all costs. At all costs. It's never going to define me. It's a part of my journey, and that's all it is. And I ain't dwelling on it. I'm not a poster child for it. I'm just trying to live my life. But I am here to also say, no matter what happens, no matter what you go through, that you can overcome it. I mean, and that's the same for me and for anyone else. Positive thinking is my mantra. All day, every day. I just cannot express that enough.
Yeah.
Prayer and positive thinking can change lives. And I am an example of that, no doubt about it.
All day, every day, girl. Yeah. Ain't no other way.
What about you, bro? Is there ever a time?
I'm trying to get to the positive thinking thing.
I'm working on it.
I'm known amongst my friends as the curmudgeon. I'm the bro curmudgeon. I'm the frat curmudgeon. It's like, man, get that mess out of here, whatever, bro. But to me, it really is the small, everyday things that your partner celebrates in you, because you would expect and hope, and I think most people, even if they're faking, when something big, they're gonna be like, yeah, all right, oh man, but with her, like Miss Positivity, Little Miss Sunshine, it is like, oh babe, you made the greatest pancakes, they're like perfectly round. They'd be like,
that's so hard. That's the crazy part.
I mean, seriously, it'd be like, I'll be like, dang, man, we'll be celebrating everything about that. And I mean, it's those things that build you up and support you when the big things either happen and go well, or you're nervous about, or go wrong. Because you know that even though this went wrong, this is not the type of person that's going to be like, should listen to me. Because they celebrating your perfectly round pancakes and stuff, hey, be like, woo, that train wreck you did with DJing, that was great. You'll get to eat better next time. It'd be stuff like that. So
even when he DJing, he say it's bad. I want you to tell me when it's bad, but I like no.
Right.
I mean,
like I like, like if you pledge, you like tough criticism. You like, you be like I'm online, because then I mean, like okay, I could deal with, when things get better, because I done went through the worst.
Right.
So yeah, I want the tough criticism. I want some neck and whatever, all other stuff. use that.
Well, we like to celebrate the little things.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like the world is going to give him enough disappointment.
Totally.
When he leaves this house, all of the things that's happening out there, that's going to be enough. When he comes home, listen, what you want to do? I got it. I got it. I'm supporting. What do I need to do to help you? What do I need to do to support you? What do I need to do?
I think though, as men, we have an appreciation, especially when we have a woman in our life that we trust, for you all to see our blind spots, right? So it's not that we don't appreciate the praise and the perfectly round pancakes and all of that other stuff, but we also, especially for guys like us, Swan, like we believe that the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. So if we're constantly trying to get better or want to be better, where is an area that I could have done something different or done something better? You know, not that we don't appreciate it, but it's like, man, yeah, like give me what I want to hear, but also give me what I need to hear.
Yeah. That's him for sure.
I have this theory, and I mean, one day I'll write about it, but I have a theory that the world treats a man, particularly a Black man, how he's treated at home.
Okay.
And
I received that.
And I really feel like when a man is you can tell, I mean, this is part of my occupational hazard of coaching for so long, but you can tell when a man is not treated well at home by his posture and demeanor in the world.
Yes.
And I feel like now that I have a man that is my man, it is my utmost responsibility that the vibration that he goes out into the world with and functions with every day is that of no drama, no chaos, and nothing but the ultimate praise.
Yeah.
Because that's how I want his shoulders to be. That's how I want his posture to be. And that's how I want people to receive him no matter what he's doing. Because, you know, like you said, Simone, the world is doing enough outside by itself.
Right.
And look at that smile.
She's trying to get us.
Yeah, I'll be back. And so I just think that's part of our duty. So fellas, give us a little grace. We could do more with telling you or layering, sandwiching stuff you might want to also know. Yeah. But know that we treat you that way because you deserve it. And when you haven't had a person to love in the way that we have somebody to love, I mean, what else we got to do?
Yeah,
for real.
Right?
For real. I agree.
This has been helpful.
It's been helpful. Learning things in our own interview.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Simone?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't even remember. I got distracted by the dog. I'm sorry.
Right? Don't worry about the dog. He's fine. He's doing his own thing.
Yeah.
So partnership is one of the things we talk a lot about. Mm-hmm. And I think the concept of partnership was different for us in other relationships, partly because we ain't got no real partner. But what does partnership mean to you now compared to when you were younger? And have either of you been married before?
No. This is our first marriage.
Okay. So in relationships prior, what did partnership what is different about partnership now than it was before?
I would say definitely you made the commitment now. And, you know, not just to her, but like you do take vows and you make that commitment in God's eyes. So,
yeah.
You, to me, is do or die for real. Like it's like we're not going nowhere.
Yeah,
you know, it's stick-to-itiveness or whatever you want to call it. You know, and it's like you say, like everybody think it's all like great and sunshine and this and rainbows. Nah,
always.
You know, a lot of times, you know, like I'd be like, man, bro, like you ain't got no basement to go to or garage or something. I want to think about that, you know, because it's something to be said where you can say like, okay, hey, we're having this disagreement, we're angry at each other, flare it up, and we retreat to our corners, and it's far enough away where we ain't got to look at each other or hear each other. so we can calm down, but not so far away where it's out of the house or something. And then that person is like, well, what are they doing out there? Whatever, or you out there and be like, well, what's out here?
Right.
Right.
Because that's not what you're looking for. You just want the time to say, let me reset and come back.
Come here.
Ignore him. I get it.
Be fine, girl.
But you just need the time to reset and say, okay, now I had my woosah moment. Let me refocus on what we were doing and keep winning.
Yeah.
I remember a time a couple years ago. I can't believe we've been married almost 3 years, y'all. Like, we're at the time, but keep going. We were. It was probably year one before we were married, and I needed to go on a road trip to St. Louis, and there was a strike going on at the dealerships, and I couldn't get my oil changed in time for the trip.
Oh wow!
And I was in the bed, and I just went back. I had gotten up for the day, and I just went back and got in the bed. And he came in the room, and he was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I got to make this trip to St. Louis, and I can't get my oil changed. I don't know. I don't want to go to some random place. I want to go to a dealership because they count blah, blah, blah." And he said, "Baby, I got 2 cars. We can take my car." Something about that moment, it had never dawned on me.
Right.
Depend on anything but myself.
Mm-hmm.
I had never, it made me realize I had been single or alone in every relationship I'd ever been in. But in that moment, I was like, that's partnership.
Absolutely.
That's the balance and the yin yang of, if I ain't got it, you still got it because I got it.
Right. Absolutely.
And that was like a big aha moment for me that made me realize that what we were doing was more than dating.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That we were living a life together that was together.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Partnership for me definitely is different here. And I'm sure part of that is maturity and time. And part of it is just us and that work in that way. What was the time where partnership showed up for you different, babe? Interviewing the interviewees.
I wasn't expected to answer no questions tonight. I don't know. I can't say. I don't know
with your parents or your mom or.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's partnership though. I will say, like, the way that she is with my parents and the things that she's willing to do for my family, she just stepped right in and fit right in.
Yeah.
But I guess I never really thought about it because from the very beginning, we've had this very open, we do for each other relationship.
Yeah.
And I've always been willing to do that. And I haven't really paid attention to when others have been willing to do that for me. However, you've done it the most, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that we have worked on is a check-in. Every Sunday morning, we do a check-in where whatever has happened throughout the week, we talk about. What's your, how was last week? Did I fuck up anything? Did I do anything really good? What could be different?
What do you need more of?
What do you need more of?
Etc.
And then we kind of pivot into what do you need in this upcoming week? And try to just take it, we're talking about the day all the time, but like try to take that scope forward and backward. What kind of rituals regular things have you all developed that keeps your connection strong? Anything that you do regularly?
I'd be curious to know what you're about to say.
That was a good laugh. I'm gonna want to hear his first.
Probably like, he'd be sending me a bunch of stupid videos and jokes like, babe, did you see this? Did you see this?
But you know what? No, I was gonna say since the pandemic, because I'm home all the time now. Our lives have.
I had always been home.
Yeah,
I've been home for 20 plus years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had my routine. The dog had his routine.
And then I messed all of that up once the pandemic started because I was gone 80% of the time. I get up and go to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then, a lot of days I come home and literally just have enough time to change, shower, change, and be off to my next gig.
Yeah.
I work completely remotely now from home.
Okay. So you never went back to the office?
Well, technically 6 months ago, I started going back 1 day a week.
Okay.
Honestly, that's when I want to. I mean, I gotta be there to 9:30 and I might stay till 3:30 or 1 day a week.
Okay.
But so everything changed because I was at home all of the time now.
Mm-hmm.
That's an adjustment period. Like because,
it was.
you know.
Did you hear? I heard
the tone.
But and sometimes in a good way, because you know, when you work from home, people think you're not working.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, well, you could go do this and you could do that, and you can, you know, how come you didn't do this while you were there? You know, because I was working. You know, so for her to come home and see, oh, this dude is really sitting at that desk, like doing, so, oh man, he cursing and hollering, yeah, he mad at them clients, yeah, he working.
He working.
You know, so it goes both ways in the sense that it helped her like kind of see and understand kind of what's going on in the background, you know, whereas like, you know, because like say with her, at least the singing part, you know, that's right there where you can see that, you know, you can see what your partner is doing. You know, we don't typically go into their offices all the time. Some people, you know, you might visit a person's office here and there and get an idea. But, you know, when you can see that person putting in that work and time and the effort that they're doing, you know, then it makes a big difference.
So for me, honestly, the ritual that came out of that was because I'm home more, we talk all day now.
Yeah.
I mean, I get up, I mean, and we both do it because he has a home office here. And I typically work in the kitchen at the table because I can let the dog out, I can cook, I have the TV and everything all in one place. But throughout the day, we're constantly getting up, going to say, "Oh, did you see? Well, let's do this." Or, you know, having conversations throughout the day. And I think that has increased our communication.
I could see that, especially with you being out of the house so much. Because come home and then change and then go do your other thing. That's almost like dating life, but living together. You know, like just I
mean, we talk a lot more, and you know, it allows me sometimes to have the space where if it's something that's bothering me, I can just go in there and deal with it now versus waiting until the end of the day or when there's a moment. It's just like, no, you know, we're here now. Let's talk about it now.
Yeah.
We don't want that so much.
Right. We tend to not have a lot of, you know, like negative stuff on those Sunday mornings. But what we found is that if something happened on Tuesday that wasn't earth shattering, that we didn't need to like deal with in the moment, and we hold it to talk about it on Sunday, most times that shit don't even matter no more.
Right.
Exactly. In the grand scheme of things. So it was worth not creating any negative feeling for in that moment, just to hold on to it, process, or forget about it because it was a snap, a moment in time. And I think that that's what one of the values of spending time, a lot of time with your partner, is that you're at the core of this person. You're not with these snapshots of life where you gotta hold on to the last time I talked to him, he said, so you holding on to it for 12 hours until you get back to them to fight again. You know?
Helps you old like me too and forget a bunch of that stuff.
Just forget about that shit.
Really?
Like,
oh man.
I didn't even remember.
Right. And that's so real. So real.
We're gonna go ahead and land this plane. We got a couple more things and we're gonna let y'all get out of here. But since we're dealing with the musically inclined couple, this should be very interesting. We want separate answers from each of you. What's a song that perfectly describes your relationship and why?
Ooh. I feel like Jeopardy. We need to cue Jeopardy.
Y'all should have gave us like that at the beginning.
Funk Mummy.
A lot of songs out there. A lot of
songs. I'm gonna make Our Love by Natalie Cole.
Okay, because come on, you just gave us all the Natalies.
And I'm thinking about the lyrics. It spreads wide as the sea and tall as a tree. And I mean, it really does. When I think about the last 10 years we've been together, everything that we've been through, and just the peaks and valleys, and just
that's a good
you
song.
get to know that.
That's a
Now I
good
want to
song.
hear it.
That's a good song.
That's
Yeah,
good.
it just, there's nothing that can break us. I mean, like nothing.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Nothing that can break us.
Okay. All right, Swan, what is it for you?
I had to think. So I guess it would kind of be like one of my absolute favorite songs. I think one of the greatest lyrics ever, from Nature Boy. So, George Benson did Nature Boy. A lot of people have covered this tune.
Okay.
And so it says, the greatest thing that you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. And, that just always stuck with me. Like, and I mean, like, it's like I say, it's one of those songs that's been covered by so many people in so many different genres and so many different ways that you'll find a version that you love. Mm-hmm. But when you really pay attention to what is being said, because that's the thing, like, with music, like, you can't really connect to it if you ignore parts of it. Mm-hmm. And, so, like, I always be like, hey, if it's the greatest singers, it's because they read the lyrics, they understood them.
Yeah.
They're putting emotion into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Even if it's an instrumentalist, like, they'll tell you, like, the great instrumentalist will say, if I'm playing a song that has words, lyrics, I need to learn those lyrics so I know what I'm supposed to be conveying in my playing.
Yeah, and the feeling of it.
Right.
And there's a lot to be said for allowing yourself to be loved, because just because you have a love wanting to love you does not always make it easy to receive that love.
In all of our lives, there's been some point where, we wasn't receiving what somebody was giving. We got that person, man, used to break their heart or whatever. Like, you wasn't ready.
Yeah, that's good. All right, last question. If your love story were turned into a movie, what would be the title and who would play you?
Ooh. The title would be Simply Beautiful.
Okay.
And
Al Green would do the cover track.
Oh, who would play me? Who could play me? Issa Rae.
I was just thinking that.
I was thinking that too. Issa Rae.
That's what I was thinking.
Just know that's one of my crushes.
You said that.
There was a Lawrence in that show, but who would play you, Lawrence?
I'm gonna pick Samuel L. Jackson. And the reason is because, like, a lot of people be like, you quiet, you this and that and the other, but when I snap, I snap. Yeah. And so, it's like perfect person to be like, too calm, and then be like, motherfucker.
Literally. He showed us that last week at the Super Bowl, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
What'd I do?
No, Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, Samuel L. Jackson. I was like, I didn't snap at the Super Bowl.
I love that. Well, thank you, friends, for giving us a little behind the scenes and sharing some of the intimate things that even some of your closest friends may not know.
Yeah.
And that is one of our ultimate goals, is proof of love beyond 40, because there are a lot of people who got married younger, like you said, Lawrence, and been married for a long time. Mm-hmm. But there is a growing number of us after 40 who have found our person, fallen in love, allowed love to happen, and been open enough for it to take place.
Yeah.
So
you said something, and I hate to interrupt you. You said something really poignant right then, and it was allowing love to happen.
Yes.
Because I think, and for me, I think you have to make a conscious decision that this is important to you, and that what you've been doing is not working. I mean, like and for me, it was that real. I was like, okay, what I've been doing is not working.
Right.
And this is just so right for me. Let me pivot and focus on this. And that was, I mean, again, it was a game changer.
Yeah.
And I think people who really want to be in a committed relationship with someone who is right for them, that they believe is right for them at that moment. I mean, sometimes you just don't know, but I think we're all mature enough and have been in enough relationships that you have a good idea of how your picker has been off, so to speak.
Yes.
And when you allow, like you said, yourself to be loved and really want that, it can happen. And it doesn't matter how old you are, it can happen.
It can totally happen.
Y'all, don't give up.
Don't give up. I was going to ask you for your last advice on what you would tell somebody hoping for love. So you gave us that. Simone, what would it be for you to tell somebody that's thinking maybe it's too late for me or I'm set in my ways? What would you tell that person?
No, it's never too late. You just got to have your eyes open and be ready and recognize it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And have your SP on point.
Ha.
You got that SP going there.
Lord have mercy. Well, we love that SP.
Baby.
And it keeps us coming on back home quickly. So tell the people how they can get these tickets to join you at Teatro Zinzanni.
Yes. So I will be joining the cast of Teatro Zinzanni for March 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Tickets are available at zinzanni.com. That's ZINZANNI.com.
Yes, and they can find
out. It's an incredible show.
Yes.
Incredible show.
It's very interactive. It's acrobatic. It's song. It's amazing food. And you put all of your senses in one place with Simone singing.
Yes.
Baby, that thing is going to be incredible.
I'm excited. It's going to be incredible. It really is.
I can't wait to see you do your thing on that stage, girl. And you have been getting bigger and bigger stages. And this is just the next level on your way up the ladder to more levels, my sister.
I appreciate that.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Follow this amazing couple. Follow Simone at Simone Green Live and follow Lawrence Swan, DJ Funk Mummy, all of that at Lawrence Lyles. We are the Robersons, and we are so happy to be friends with you and be able to live this love and life and journey together. And I'm glad that I'm not the solo single friend no more at your parties.
Okay. I love it. But listen, a lot of people have fallen in love and gotten married at our parties.
That is true.
Successfully.
Yes.
You may have to get some of those couples on your show.
We might just have to. So if you would like to be a couple on our Proof of Love Beyond 40, stay tuned. Follow us next Monday, same time, same channel, all the channels for 7:30 for more Proof of Love Beyond 40. Thank you so much to the Lyles. I appreciate you both.
We love y'all. Thank you, Mel Mo.
Thank you.
Take care.
Until next time.
Peace.